Why do I love living in Edmonton? Well, you're going to want to watch this video because we're going to talk about that right now. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our new videos every single week. Today I'm talking to you about why I love living in Edmonton. Of course, I'm locally born and raised here, and so I'm a little bit biased, but hey, I'm going to tell you why I love living in Edmonton, why I'm still here after all these years. So the first reason of why I love living in Edmonton is that it's a small town, got small town feel with amenities. So it's still a city, very much so. Unlike our neighbors to the south, which feels more metro and larger city because the population is larger, Edmonton has a smaller town feel. Our population is a perfect size in my opinion. The Edmonton area is smaller than Calgary metro area. When you add Edmonton and surrounding areas such as Sherwood Park, St. Albert, Leduc, Beaumont, those types of areas, we get in over the million person population. And so that is a nice size. It's a city that is big enough with all the great amenities, but it still has a small town feel to make you feel welcome and to not feel that everyone is all about the hustle and bustle. The second reason why I love living in Edmonton is the Edmonton River Valley. The Edmonton River Valley is so amazing. This year, our family has been able to spend a lot of time discovering so many parts of it that we've never discovered. I mean, I've lived here all my life and I still am discovering parts of the River Valley I've never seen before. River Valley consists of over 160 kilometers of trails that are maintained. So you have so many trails to discover, so many actually offbeat paths that we've also gone on as well. Great place to go, whether it is spring, summer, winter. It's a great place to enjoy the outdoors. The Edmonton River Valley is definitely one of our most favorite things about living in Edmonton. At the River Valley, they have paved paths. So in the summertime, you can go rollerblading and biking. Also, of course, you can go off the non-paved paths. But it's also great because it's great for if you have young kids, if you have no kids, if you have older kids, or it's just yourself wanting to go on a date night. It is a great place to have free entertainment in the city. One of the other reasons I love living in Edmonton is the unique experiences and the unique things that you can do here in the city. We have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small businesses, and it's so great to be able to support local. You've got fun things like the book truck, which is a really cool thing, mobile book truck that you can kind of check out. You've got local restaurants, and we have a lot of local restaurants. We love checking them out. They're so good. And it's amazing to be able to support your local neighbors instead of just bigger franchises. So there's also the farmers market that happens every week. It's another fun thing to do. And again, you're supporting local. Don't forget also the two spots that are pretty popular right now, of course, are Whyte Avenue and High Street. These areas are great places that have local businesses there, local restaurants to check out, and a little bit of nightlife at the Whyte Ave side. High Street is more of a daytime thing. To be able to check out all the local shops that actually have shops, we see different events that happen on Whyte Avenue and High Street and the downtown area. So that's one of the other reasons I really love living in Edmonton. There's always something unique and fun to do here in the city, whether you want to spend a lot of money, a little bit of money, or no money at all. So another great reason of why I love living in Edmonton, especially as a mom, the Edmonton playgrounds are amazing here. There's so many different playgrounds to check out. So we have a series on our YouTube channel that's all about the YEG playgrounds, and our kids love checking them out when they're little. Even as they're older, they still really like checking out the playgrounds. There's a variety of different ones that have spray parks, one that have a climbing wall, one that have rope parks. There's lots of different variety with the playgrounds here in Edmonton, and it's, again, a great source of free entertainment. So as a mom, I'm always looking for entertainment that doesn't cost us a ton of money as a family to enjoy, and that's definitely one of them. Another reason why I love living in Edmonton is all the great Edmonton schools. So even though we homeschool, I know and I have a lot of friends who are teachers, I have a lot of friends who have their kids in schools, and it's awesome as a realtor when I help clients find homes looking for great schools. We have a great variety of schools. We have schools that are specialized in language, we have schools specialized in arts and sports. So whatever you're looking for, whatever your kid wants to learn and grow, it's amazing to have that opportunity. including schools that are good and focused on academics as well. Another reason I love living in Edmonton is everything is close by. We are spoiled here because we don't usually like to drive more than 15-20 minutes, and we think 30 minutes is a long drive. But if you think about the bigger metro cities in Canada, things are usually a minimum of 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes an hour drive, depending on where you live. Whereas here in Edmonton, you can find all the necessities usually within a 15-minute drive or less. So I'm talking about grocery stores, restaurants. Maybe your kids are in classes and dance classes or whatnot, and they're all usually quite close by. The main roads and arteries are close by to get you from place to place to visit or to go to work. So that's another huge reason of why I love living in Edmonton. Now, side note, I know this is all about loving living in Edmonton, but because of the road system, it's not the greatest here. Just a disclaimer, sometimes I don't love living in Edmonton when I'm dealing with the traffic and when traffic isn't so great and when there's construction. Just a side note. So another reason I love living in Edmonton, I don't know if you've heard that theme throughout when I'm talking about free things to do, free things to partake in and have fun with the family, is affordable living. I love Edmonton for this reason. Affordable living, especially when I'm helping clients come here to move and find a house, the housing is so much more affordable than in, for example, BC or Ontario, because we have still affordable living. Everything obviously depends on what people's perspectives are, but it's such a great place to live. You can rent is a little bit higher, but rent is still not atrocious. And mortgages are actually really affordable because of the house price. So your family can own a house, which is a really nice thing to have pride of home ownership and to be able to have your own home and your own house to make your home. Another reason I love living in Edmonton, and has kind of again to do with things to do with my family, is the city attractions. So city attractions aren't super expensive to go to, and there's a lot of different city attractions. Here in the city, we have the Alberta Museum, the Edmonton Library. There's libraries all around the city, but including the most recent upgrade and the renovated downtown library has a lot of cool things for you to check out. There's the TELUS World of Science, the Legislative Grounds, the Edmonton Valley Zoo, and the Fort Edmonton Park. So there's so many different fun things that the city has to offer for your family to check out for a date night. They usually have events and stuff at those attractions as well, and there's always different times of the day that might be cheaper to go to, and it's just tons of fun for your family to enjoy. As our family has done, we have been able to explore that and kind of just be tourists in your own city. Another reason why I love living in Edmonton is all the activities for the kids that I can put my kids into. So extracurricular activities, what I'm talking about. There is dance classes, there's coding classes that my kids love to attend. There is parkour, there's foam fighters, there's a Nerf gun place where you can kind of shoot Nerf guns at each other. There's a lot of indoor playgrounds for the younger ones that we enjoyed when our kids were younger, and there's a lot of the trampoline parks for the older kids and maybe the young at heart. So there's a lot of fun activities for kids to do here in the city. Because we are mostly winter a lot of times, we got to make sure we have fun things to do inside if we can't be outside all the time. So this is now the 10th reason I'm listing of why I love living in Edmonton. It's all the seasonal activities and festivals that we have here in the city. So I love that we have seasons. I know that you may say that we might not have that long of a summer, but I love the fact that we have spring, summer, fall, and winter. Winter usually lasts a lot longer. They're not all balanced seasons, but I do love that our city is very active. And so you can either be inside to do things to stay away from the cold, or you can even put on those cross-country skis, go snowshoeing, and take advantage of being outside in the winter, or you can stay inside. And in the summertime, being able to take advantage of the heat that we have when it's a very short time. Sometimes it's too hot, and then you do want to stay inside. And so there's so many fun things to do. So those are the 10 reasons of why I love living in Edmonton. I know I have a lot more, and I also know a lot of them have to do with things that have to do with my time with family. And I think when you're looking for a place of where you want to live, you want to think of, how is this going to fit my family? the other big reasons of why I love living here is because our family actually is here. Our extended family is close by. And so that's another huge reason why people choose to live where they are. If you have any questions about Edmonton, or you're wondering about some other aspect I didn't touch in this video, make sure to comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time.